All right, so you've hired your first virtual assistant or maybe just an in-office assistant. This actually applies to any team member. Once they're hired, what do you do? Well, if you're like most business owners and entrepreneurs, you probably just tell them, hey, here's what I want you to do. Go get them. I'll talk to you in a week or a month or a year. Does that sound familiar? Although that is what most entrepreneurs do, that is absolutely not the right thing to do, and that is a recipe for disaster. Instead, on today's video, I'm going to tell you 5 key things that you should do once you hire someone on your team. Hey, real quick, if we're just meeting, I'm Danny. Thanks for tuning into the channel. So look, whether you have a team already or you don't and you need to hire your first virtual assistant, I want to invite you to book a call down below with my team at All Star VAs. We'll do a full business audit. We'll see what's working for you, what's not working for you, and we'll give you a game plan and a roadmap so that you can scale your business effectively and efficiently so that you can make more money and work less. Book that call. I'll see you on there. And for now, back to the video. Now, I've been hiring people for about 20 years, but specifically for the last 6 years, I've been hiring, onboarding, training, and coaching virtual assistants for my clients. Anyhow, number one thing that you need to do when you hire someone on your team is you need to have a standard operating procedure, or what we call an SOP, specific to that position, and you need to work off of it. Think of that as the operations manual for that position. It should have absolutely everything that you need to do in that position to make it successful. Now, if you need a standard operating procedure for any position, over the last 6 years, we've developed these for pretty much every position you can think of, from executive assistant to social media manager, inside salesperson, client care, video editor, etc., etc. So if you need something like that, just hit me up. You can shoot me a message or put a comment down below, and I'm glad to send that your way. Or you can just book a call, like I mentioned. We can chat about it on that call, no obligation. No pressure, all right? So what if you don't have an SOP? What if I give you one? Or what if you're already working with someone, you don't know what to do? Well, one of the great things to do is you tell your new hire that they actually have 2 jobs. Number 1 is to do the job that you're asking them to do based on the draft SOP that you have. And number 2 is to create an operations manual for their position. This works really, really well. When I originally hired my first assistant, her name was Melissa, a long, long time ago when I first started my real estate business, I told her, I said, hey, we don't have anything. So what I want you to do is I want you to create an entire manual of how to run this business. She did that, and over time we used that manual, we kept updating it, and that was something super cool that we used for a very, very long time. Number 2 is a proper onboarding. Once again, I hate to keep saying it, but most entrepreneurs just bring someone in and go, okay, here's the job, go get them, and then they go back to what they were doing, right? And that does not lead to long-term success with your new hire. What a proper onboarding looks like, first and foremost, is you want to explain to your new hire what your vision is. You are the entrepreneur. What is your vision for your company? Where do you want to go? What are you really doing? You know, there's a great story I remember when someone walks by and there are 2 guys on the street and they're both laying bricks, and he asks the first person, he goes, hey, what are you doing? What's your job? And the guy goes, oh, I just lay bricks. And he walks up to the next guy and he says, hey, what are you doing? And the guy goes, hey, you see this huge building over here? It's a luxury property. You see that? And the guy goes, yeah. And he goes, I'm building that. So the difference between the first person laying bricks and the second person building that high-end luxury real estate is their mindset and the vision that the entrepreneur probably showed them. So I want you with your new hires, or if you already have hires and you haven't done this, just go back and do a reset and just meet with them. Hey, I want to share with you the vision for my company. Here's where we're going. Here's what we're doing. Here's how you fit in to that equation, right? So that way, this hire is going to be much more motivated to accomplish the things that you want them to accomplish. So good onboarding involves the vision, the mission of the company, you know, where you're going, how you see that position fitting in, the culture of the company, and what you really want to see out of this position, everything that you're looking for. Again, most business owners skip that step and just go straight into the logistics. Hey, here's what I want you to do. You know, if you're a cold caller, I want you to make 150 calls a day. Well, that doesn't get too many people excited. You really want to do that proper onboarding. And that actually leads me to number 3, which is setting up the right accountability with your new hire. So I want you to imagine that you're a professional sports team. Now, if you owned a sports team and, for example, you hired a general manager, manager, the key performance indicator there would be winning a championship. If you're not a sports person, let's talk about any big company. Let's say you owned a restaurant. Your key performance indicators might be, your sales numbers or your growth of your sales or whatever that looks like. So with your new employee, you want to establish accountability around key performance indicators. You have to come up with those, or you can come up with them together with your employee, and then you have to track them. So you have to set up a daily, weekly, monthly cadence of accountability in your business. So what does that structure look like for us? And I think we've pretty much perfected it over these last 20 years of hiring people. What that looks like is, number one, a daily huddle in the morning. That's where you just have a super quick huddle with your employee, asking them, hey, what are the things that you want to do today, or what are your priorities today? Then it leads to a morning start of day report. That could just be an email or a Slack message if you use a communication software, right? Where the employee then tells you, here are my priorities for the day, here's what I'm looking at, here's my challenges, or here's what's going on. Then an end of day report every day with your virtual assistant or regular assistant. Again, this applies really to any kind of position, where they're going to tell you, here were my 5 priorities, here are the things I accomplished, here are the things I didn't accomplish, here were my challenges, here's why I didn't meet the goals for today. Then that leads to a weekly one-on-one where you're going to go over the last week's key performance indicators, where they hit, where they not, why or why not, and then you can go monthly, quarterly, so on and so forth. But having that accountability is so important, so that you can make sure that the goals that you set for your company and your organization and that position, if you're trying to get a return on investment, are being met. All right, number 4, this is one that most entrepreneurs dread, I should say, not dead, dread, and that is proper training. Okay, so proper training, first of all, does not have to be some formal 2-week program where you send them off to training like some huge conglomerate, because I know that I'm a small business. Most of you watching this are probably small business owners as well. So what does that proper training look like? Well, I'm going to share with you exactly what I do, which works very, very well. And that is a 3-step method. Step 1 is, I'm going to do the task and you're going to watch me. Now, what that requires is for you as the entrepreneur to know how to do the task. And most entrepreneurs have done every single task in their business, so they can do this pretty well. So I do, you watch. Let's take any task, for example, email sorting. Let's say you hire an executive assistant. All you're going to do is you are going to sort your email, and they're going to watch you do it. Now, I'm going to share something in the next step with you that's also critical, but I'm going to save that for step 5. So email sorting, I do, you watch. Take notes, ask questions. Let's talk about what I do, why I do it, but that's the key. Step 2, after you've done that, is you do and I watch. So now you're going to flip the script. Your new assistant or administrator or whoever you hire is going to do the task, and you're going to watch. And then step 3, once you're comfortable that they're doing a good job and you don't have to micromanage or anything like that, now you are going to let them go out and do the task. Now, here's the hard part for you as the entrepreneur. I know you're going to have a hard time with this. Instead of micromanaging, you have to delegate and you have to hold that person accountable. What that means is they do the task. You don't micromanage. You hold them accountable at the end of the day, at the end of the week, at the end of the period to those key performance indicators. That is how you train someone for long-term success. But that will actually not work without this next step, and it's step number 5. And if you've stuck around for this long, then you are going to get so much value out of this next step. I really appreciate you. And if you're getting value, again, I should have asked you earlier, but make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. It's a newer YouTube channel, and I want to get this message out. So what is step number 5? Well, that is use technology that we have today. I'm going to share some technologies with you that you absolutely must use with your new person. Number 1 is recording. So for example, when you're training, I want you to record those as videos. You can use all kinds of free software. Loom, Zoom has a free version. There's QuickTime on Apple, or screen recording or whatever, but record yourself training. If you have an ISA, for example, and they're sending you scripts and they're recording themselves, I want you to ask your people to always record themselves. Then when you do that evaluation, record it. Make a video, make an audio recording. So using recordings daily and getting comfortable with that in your business as you're interacting with your employees is so critical in today's day and age. Stop typing everything out. Just use your voice, use video to get that going much better, because people will respond to that. They can hear your intonation, they can hear your rate of speech, they can hear how you're doing it. And that goes so much further than, just typing something out. And with that being said, we got to use AI as part of our business. It's inevitable. If you're not using AI with what you're doing, and if your assistants and your team members are not using AI, then you're going to be behind the curve really quickly. At All Star VAs, we actually help the virtual assistants that we staff implement AI in our clients' businesses, and that has been so powerful. If you want to hear more about that, just book a call using the link below. But in any event, using AI for things like telling ChatGPT or whatever AI program you use what the problem is, what the issue is, or documenting your operations manual. I bet you didn't know that you can use AI to create an operations manual for your business or a standard operating procedure. Just type it in there. Hey, I want a standard operating procedure for this position. I run this kind of business. Here are the goals I'm looking for. It'll generate that for you. Then you can have your assistant go in and tweak that and use it. So using technology like recording things, AI, I know this is not, revolutionary, and you may have heard of all this, but actually using it every day, getting comfortable with it, is going to transform your business. So look, if you've hired someone for your team, don't just let them go do whatever they want. I guarantee you that the better way to do it is to follow these 5 steps, and it's going to lead to success. Now, if you don't have anyone on your team yet, then I want you to check out this video for a step-by-step guide on how to hire your first virtual assistant.